Hello, everybody. So, this one is Sacred Gear Deku. So, on the community tab that I posted, it says, Sacred Heart Deku in High School DxD. Well, High School did. But it was supposed to say High School DxD. So, I apologize for freaking false advertisement. Give me a second. Anywho. So, Deku being well in High School DxD. Oh yeah, and sorry for being on YouTube right now. Anywho, so let's start off with what family he's gonna be born in. So, Issei is Deku's younger brother, but only by about 25 minutes. And I'm gonna change Issei's birthday and Deku's. Or nah. So, Issei was born on December 23rd. Deku was born like right before December 23rd, because I was born halfway at freaking midnight, and then the rest came. Well, halfway at midnight, and then by like whatever time the rest of me got out. So yay. So Deku's gonna be a Scorpio and a Sagittarius. Yes. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is technically my version of a birthday special, because my birthday was November 22nd. So yeah, you guys, Loki, lived long enough to see my birthday. And sorry that I haven't been posting. This month has just been annoying. That, and on top of that, test after test after test. Testing is annoying. You gotta study, you gotta everything. But anyway, so he'll have the Armageddon Dragon Balance Breaker. And so, this is what his scale mail will look like. It has two forms. So, scale mail, New Age. Which is the weaker of the two. And then the Scale Birth Revive. Yes, I'm calling it that. But anyway. So in this version, there's one dragon who's regarded as the strongest, and that's Bahamut. Yeah, very, very original. I know, I'm amazing. Like, I'm a genius. I'm brilliant. But, anywho. Deku. Yeah. So, Deku, he has in his position. But, yeah. So, Bahamut is the strongest dragon. It's indefinite. And as Izuku was, like, being born, Bahamut sensed this child with great power, even as he was just being born. So, he said, maybe this vessel can finally withhold my power. we gonna figure out today. But next time on any. So, Deku, he's born. Issei, he's born. And Deku, he takes care of Issei a lot. Deku, by the age of 4, he has enough, like, mental brainage so that way he can hear Bahamut. And so Bahamut, he starts speaking to Deku. And Deku at first, he's like, huh? Who are you? Did somebody break into my mama and daddy's house? Because I'm not afraid to throw hands. Mama ain't raised no bitch. Square up. And, for what? Yeah, and I have a Hedora would have planned. What should Deku even look like? Fuck. See, kids, this is why you always gotta be prepared. And let's just say that looks like kind of case here. And you're like, oh, how to get white hair? Because Bahamut's inside of him. Wait. Chill, people. Chill, back of you. I'm just gonna put this, yeah. Anyway, so, Deku, and since him and Issei are the same grade, I'm gonna say about, like, in 5th grade, Issei starts to develop his perverted personality with the porn. And so, Deku, he starts whacking his brother upside the head for any time he sees him doing some perverted thing. So, Issei's not an omega perv, but close. I forgot that I had these two. I could have used this one. Matter of fact, hello. But, anyway. So, Deku, he goes in, and seeing as we're time skipping to high school, Deku, he's looking at the window, and they're in their 2nd year at Koei Academy, and he sees Issei, Motohama, and Kiriyama, I think is the other dude's name. And he sees them peeping into the girls' restroom. And Deku at this point, he knows about Bahamut, and they talk on a regular basis. And he knows how to use a portion of his balance breaker. Well, not any of his balance breaker, but the sacred gear. So he can boost up to times 100. He knows how to do dragon shot, multiple of them at the same time. So he calls it Dragon's Devastation Barrage, and then just the singular one would be Dragon's Devastation. And then another attack / ability he has is where he makes an orb and just lets it fly up into the sky, and then it starts to rain down hell. And that's why he calls it Hellfire. Well, Hellfire Barrage. He also has an attack that's one-time use, and it takes up most of his stamina. So if he uses it in a day, and it's like at the start of the day, it won't really affect him. But if he uses it as like a last-minute move, that nigga's going to sleep for like 3 days. Yeah, he tired. And so Deku, he sleeps a lot, so he has a lot of extra energy. And he also has the highest grades in Koei Academy. And alongside with Kiba, he's viewed as the hottest dude. And so all the girls always fawn over him. And Deku, he trained a lot. So he ain't weak at all by any means. And sorry, y'all, that I kind of deprived you of this one. Yeah, also, I've been playing a lot of Hades recently, and if you don't know, it's essentially a dungeon crawler. So it's either get good or go home. No, legit, it sends you back home. But, yeah. So, Deku, he... should I put this? He leaps out the window. And he wears a hoodie under, like, the basic Koei Academy suit. So, essentially, he's wearing a hoodie and a blazer with some jeans and some Air Force Ones. You know where I'm going with this. He wearing them black Air Force Ones. He got them strapped. But, yeah. And so, he hops down. And that's like a solid 10-foot drop. But he uses his wings. But he makes them invisible so nobody can see them. Because every single girl is looking at the window just like, did he just commit suicide? Nah. But Deku, he lands behind them. And they didn't hear him. They were too busy gawking at girls. Trying to see if they could get some panty shots. Yeah, and sorry, I came down with a cold while I was making this one. But, yeah. Well, not really a cold, but my nose has just been really, really stuffy. But, anywho, so, Deku, he goes ahead, and he grabs them. And by grabs them, I mean legit picks them up by the back of their necks. And throws them into the girls' locker room, breaking the wall. And he says, hey girls, they were peeping at you. Have fun. And like all the girls, including Konako, who's in there, blush. And Deku just walked away. Just like, uh-huh. Also, Deku has like the little mask on under. See under that big green thing right there? Yeah. Small little thing right there, right below the eye. Yeah. He has that thing on his face. But, anywho. So, Deku, he goes ahead. And he was about to leave when he noticed Rias looking at him. And so, Deku, he goes back into class, and he says, sorry about that. As he's, like, apologizing to everybody. But he's very, very monotone about it. He's just like, I really couldn't give a fuck. But I will apologize. He very brilliant. There we go. But anywho, Deku, he goes ahead. He just sits in class for a while. And after it's like the end of the day, he has to go do a club activity, because I'm going to say he's in the mixed martial arts club. He's captain of that club, by the way. But yeah, and it's like their last week, so it won't intervene with the occult research stuff. But we skip over to Issei, who's being asked out on a date by Yuma. Right there. And Bahamut, he senses what happened to Issei, and he's like, Izuku, we need to leave now. He's like, huh? What for? Because your brother's on a date. Deku's jaw just drops. And he says, the only sentence my brother's name should be in that follows the word date is never getting one. Alright, time to go spy. So, Bahamut, he knows that Drake is inside of Issei, but he's gonna wait until, like, he knows that Issei can dry out Drake. And Issei, I'm gonna say he trained every now and again with Deku, so he can bring out his sacred gear. He just doesn't know what it is / what it do. But I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Sorry, excuse my corny self. Anyway. Back to my nose. Don't do drugs, kids. But anyway, so Deku, he goes to where they are, and they're at the park at this point, because Deku went from school, had to go track down Issei with the help of Bahamut. And then question what they're doing. And then Rainier says, would you die for me, Red Dragon Emperor? And he says, what the fuck is Red Dragon Emperor? Like, I'm saying this to be quiet because everybody around me, as of current, is sleeping. Yeah, it's 8:43 at night. Don't know why they're all sleeping. I'm gonna go upstairs after this and play some Hades, though. That's for sure. Yeah, the game's pretty fun. Like, I'm gonna be real. It's pretty fun. Oh yeah, and by the way, it has stages, and you don't get a save point when you're there. No, you have one health bar that you can continuously level up, and if you lose that, and you also have a rebirth, but that's an ability that costs 300 points and then 500 to level it up, and I think like 1,000 to level up again. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I might make a what if Deku was Agrius, which is the main character in Hades. But anyway, he's a pretty cool dude. But so Bahamut, he explains who Drake is and that your brother has had him all his life, just like Deku has had him. He says, And why hasn't he freaked out? Or shown me that he has a freaking sacred gear? Because Bahamut, he taught him all about the Holy War, everything. Or not Holy War, just the war. Just everything. Regarding the supernatural world. And that Rias and her Parage are currently at the school. And he says, so Rias, Konako, Kiba, and Akano are Parage then. Alright. Well, I'll ask them if I can join eventually. And so Issei, he gets stabbed through the chest without Izuku looking. And as he sees that, he got furious. As he summoned freaking Bahamut as his sacred gear on his left arm, and he says, Bahamut, give me all the power that I can handle. Nah. He go in the world if you do that, but that's besides the point. He said, boost times 10 now. And Bahamut, he's like, oh yeah, and Bahamut, he's called the Annihilation Dragon. Or the Great Destroyer, as referred to in the texts of the underworld and the heavens. Deku, he leaps out of the bushes and he punches Yuma / Rainier in the stomach. He grabs her by the hair, throws her onto the ground, and he makes one tiny annihilation blast and flicks it at her stomach. He put a hole in her. And like, she's still alive, and she says, how dare you? And she's just like choking on blood. He says, you're lucky, because if I'm not able to heal my brother, well, if I were not able to heal my brother, then you would be dead 1,000 times over. Oh yeah, Bahamut, he also has a little like, so essentially, if Deku unlocks the Juggernaut Drive, which he has, he can get immortality if he goes and defeats Bahamut himself and becomes one with Bahamut. Because as they are right now, they're two separate beings. And Deku, he looks over to Issei and he's about to rush over to his body when a red magical circle appears. And Ria says, I won't let you die, and stuff like that. So, same stuff that happens in the first episode, like in canon. But, yeah. So, Deku, he said, oh well, guess I didn't need to heal him then. And she looks up and she sees the freaking Annihilation Emperor Sacred Gear, or the being of annihilation, or the Annihilator. Because in bed he'd annihilate her. But Deku, he looks at her and he says, oh, thanks for healing my brother. I could have done it myself, but thanks. And she says, you're the Annihilation Emperor? And he says, yes. And she like bows down immediately. And she says, what will it take for you to join my Parage? And he's just like, I was gonna ask if I could join anyway. And he says, and she goes, huh? Why is that? He says, 'cause, one, I gotta look after my brother. Two, I've heard about the raiding games and I want to participate. And on top of that, I like Konako. But that's between me and you. Don't tell her. And she's just like, okay. Well, what are we gonna do? Because your brother's going to probably take up at least 8 pawns. And he says, do that. And then, have me take up the pieces of a knight and your other rook. Or no, the queen and your other rook. One queen and your other rook. My god, I feel stupid. Because, yeah, you have 2 queens in chess, right? Yeah. I think. I've never played chess. I'm just going to say there's 2 queens. Don't fact check me. And don't you dare spam my comments. Oh, there's only one. Or, oh, there's actually more. Shut up. Just shut up. But yeah. Take up the position of a rook and your other queen if you have that position open. And so, she makes him a part of her Parage instantly. He's just like, okay. Well, looks like I have 2 sets of wings now. Huh, Bahamut. And Bahamut just laughs and he says, yeah, we do, partner. And Bahamut and Izuku, they share like the same personality. Chill and laid back, but in a fight, they get hectic. In this one, he just got mad, so it wasn't as hectic as he'd like it. Oh yeah, and Bahamut's the one who killed God. Well, not necessarily killed, but yeah, pretty close. Well, God could barely even touch him. But yeah. Also, when Deku transforms into this form, he will not have that tail. Okay? But yeah. Dang. So, Deku, he smacks his brother in the face one good time, making Issei wake up, and he's like, huh? He says, alright, I'm about to send a lot of knowledge into your brain. You have one of these, right? And he goes, yeah, thingy in my left arm. As freaking the red sacred gear appears on his arm. And it's only in his double critical form. And he says, he says, alright, looks like I have to do this now. And Deku, he took some of Issei's power as he tapped him on the forehead. He let him have a fourth of his power. He sealed away 75% of Issei's power, so Issei's been pretty weak. So now he's at 50%, and Drake's finally I can speak to this perverted nigga. And he says, yes. And he can hear Drake just talking, and he says, alright, pose! And I'm not going to yell, because again, it's nighttime. And so it goes into its second level. And double critical and second level are two different things if you watch High School DxD. But anyway, yeah. So Deku, he goes ahead and he explains the whole barrage and everything. He says, oh, okay. And Drake, he's just talking to Deku, and he's wait a second, what's that on your, oh shit, he's oh god. And Bahamut says, what little brother, surprised to see me? And yes, little brother and big brother, doubles. But yeah. And he says, wait, Drake's your younger brother, Bahamut? And he's yes. And Drake says, looks like your older brother is also my older brother. And freaking he's just so perplexed, and he says, well, looks like I'm gonna go on my quest to become the Harem King. And Deku just pimp slaps him across the face, and he says, no, you idiot, you already died once. I don't need you dying of exhaustion from some random girl on the street. He's just but I'm not. I don't care, no. And Rias is just sitting there laughing. And she says, alright, let's go back to the club. And he says, where is it exactly? And she says, in the old schoolhouse. Deku grabs onto both their shoulders, and he teleports them in front of the old schoolhouse. And they walk in, and Akano, she saw, and she's oh wow. Deku, he already had immense physical strength, but now it's just ungodly. Or not ungodly, but just entirely too much. And they see Deku walk in with his pure black hair that looks like Kaneki's. Well, in the photo that I showed. Or nah, his hair don't look like that. Him half. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm low-key stupid. I lack brain cells. I want to know how it's possible. But what should we do? It's this guy's hair, but pure black. Or not. So Deku, he looks like this, but his hair's pure black. His eyes are brown, and he's wearing a hoodie under that blazer. And he has the mask on. But yeah. And so, dang, my nose. But he's just sitting there, just like, okay, now that Issei's introduced himself, it's my turn. And Issei just said, like, I just want to become harem king. Okay, people, I'm here to get a harem. And Deku just smacks him across the back of the head, and he's just like, no. And Deku, compared to Issei, he's a giant. Deku is 6'5". Because Deku and Issei, well, they have the same dad, but due to Deku having one more muscle, two not jacking, two being the freaking vessel to a being that's like 12 billion meters tall, or sorry, not 12 billion, I mean 100 meters, or no, 100,000 feet tall, or 100,000 meters tall. Yeah, let's go with that. Has to be tall, am I right? Because, yeah. Bahamut's a giant compared to Big Red, or Great Red, I mean. But, yeah. But, anywho, so, Deku, he says, hi, I'm Azuki Hyodo. I'm 6'5", still growing, and I'm the Annihilation Dragon Emperor. I took up the spot of a queen and a rook. And they say, huh? How do you take up two separate evil pieces? And she says, do not ask, for I do not know. And Kiba says, also, why's he looking at Konako like that? And she says, oh, he has a thing for her. He says, oh, cool. Yeah, and I'm just going to say this, Kiba's gay. Like, nigga, have you seen that dude in the show? Every single girl fawns over him. He's just like, oh no, I don't have to nigga, explain. You have all the time in the world. Okay? You're about to live for like an infinite amount of time. Like, what the heck? But Konako's just like, oh, okay. Hello, I guess. He says, oh, hello. Well, sort of like rubbing his arm. Slash scratching it. But, anywho. So, next day, my nose. So the next day when when they're walking to school, they see Ozzy get stuck in with the penny shot. Issei just gets blasted out of his mind, bro. Like, his tent fully got set up, bro. Deku, he walked over to her, helped her out, and Issei came following like 2 seconds later. And she says, "Oh, I work at the church." And Deku immediately knows. Red flag. Okay. And Issei says, "So, do you want to be friends?" And Deku's just like, "Oh, this fucking idiot." Just like, why? But, anyway, so, Deku, he goes ahead and, freaking eyes. And he says, "Oh, okay." But anyway, that's my favorite phrase. Anyway, so Deku and them, they go to school, get it done and over with. And so now we go to when, after Izuku and Asuya had their little date. Deku was there too, but he was mainly just off to the side playing like a bunch of gacha machines. And so he has like a bag full of a bunch of Dragon Ball gacha machines, or a bunch of Dragon Ball gachas. He got a couple of rare ones like MUI Goku, Broly, Gogeta, SS Super Saiyan Blue, and Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, Jiren, Full Power, Beerus, Zeno, Whis, a couple of them. And then he has a Saitama one. But yeah, he was mainly just doing that, just chilling. And like, everybody was wondering, how much money is he wasting on this? And he says, "In total, I've wasted $700 today." And everybody was just sitting there just like, "Nigga, excuse me?" Like, he was just sitting there with like an entire tote, just letting all the gachas drip down through a tube that he made, and everything else was covered up. Like, nobody was touching that thing. So, Deku, bro, I got perfect auto-tune when I freaking yawn, bro. Should've go, But when I jab it in her, she's like, That's besides the point. Don't make me use the RRs. Please don't. But, anyway. So, Deku, he leaves. And Rainier, she captures Ozzy, and they're like, "Oh, we have to go get her." And Deku's just sitting there just like, You know I can bring her back by myself if I wanted to, right? Like, Rainier's not that strong at all. But yeah, as soon as Rainier saw Deku, she dipped. Like she grabbed Asuya, dipped. She was out of there faster than my dad. What? Sadness. But that's besides the point. So, I'm sorry that my mic's going like in and out. For some reason to do this, like, it'll have my actual voice and then like a higher pitch one. It don't make no sense. Explain this to me. Paid over $700 for you. Why do you do this? But Deku, he goes ahead and he's with them. He just says, "Alright, I'm gonna just lay down some covering fire." And he just creates an orb, and he like throws it up into the sky, and they're all just like, "Huh? What is that?" Because it's a pure just blood red. And Deku says, "Rain of annihilation." And blasts just start going haywire. They start zooming around and bang, bang, bang. Looks like freaking lightning, bro. And they're like small little streaks just raining down. You know, like how, not Doomsday, what was his name? Oh, well, the one guy, DC's version of Thanos. Yeah, him. Or Darkseid. Nigga, that's kinda gay. But, anywho, so, Deku, he just did that, and it, like, caused the whole place to be in a ruckus. And he went, and he took out their little guards or whatever. And Rias was just sitting there, just like, how is he just flicking them away with his raw strength? He just flicked one of them, and their head got taken off. Like, clean off. Bye-bye. And they're just sitting there just like, huh? Why is this nigga don't care? They didn't actually say that reason why. They white. But that's the point. And Deku, after he just gets rid of that, he says, "Alright, time to go watch my little brother." And so Deku, he goes down there, and he watches. He say, "Try to save Asia, but fail to." He's like, okay. But Deku, he walks up to Rainier. He says, "Little bro, I need to stop saving you. I honestly do." And he says, "Alright," he said, "Get me out, so I'll heal her." And Rhea says, "Nah, let him fight Rainier." He's like, "Okay, well, never mind. Have fun." As he walks down, and he just looks at all the soldiers that Konako and Kiba are fighting. And another ability of Bahamut is he can make clones. Like shadow clones, not actual clones. And he can send them out, and then when he recalls them, he gets all their experience or whatever, so they work like shadow clones. And that's exactly what I'm gonna call them, shadow clones. But yeah, and he has like 5 shadow clones per day out there doing something, whether it be researching or working out. And so Deku, he sends out like an army of shadow clones, and they just all start fighting, ducking, weaving, all of that. Looks like they got ultra instinct. And then one of his gotchas slips out of his pocket, and it was a really cute one too. It was one of Mew, and one of the bad guys stepped on it, or one of the priests steps on it, or yeah, the swords guy, priest, yeah, I'm about to save us from like an arc, not the whole arc, just like a part of him, just like a side arc, but he steps on it, and he's like, "Oh, looks like I stepped on someone's little toy." Oh well. And he like tries to go back to fighting, Deku snatches that nigga's head off, rips off his arms, and starts eating them like it's a piece of meat, bro. Reason why. He got so mad that he was about to, like, destroy the entire place. And freaking, Bahamut, he was just like, nope, let me take over. Like, no, we ain't putting up with that today. I said, no. But, Deku, after he, like, finishes eating someone's arm, which tasted like barbecue chicken, he snapped back and he was just like, why do I taste barbecue chicken in my mouth? Or barbecue wings in my mouth. He's just like, I don't know. And he says, hey Rainier, I played Sea of Thieves recently. And she says, okay, cool. While, like, fighting freaking Isai. He says, okay then, let's see if these nuts fit in your mouth. As he, like, flicks a small ball of energy towards her head. And she's like, no! And she, like, dodges out of the way and lets it hit Issei. Joke's on her, it was a power boost. He just says, here you go, little bro. 0.5 times. But, yeah. And so, they save Asya after Deku straight up mollywhopping every single one of them priests. Like, he legit says, these hands are for the servant of God. Or for the servants of God. But, yeah. And so, they leave, and now they say, oh, let's go find familiars. And so, they leave. Asya gets her familiar, which is his little blue thing, Sprite Dragon. Issei says, oh, I want the slime. And Deku, the guy just, man, Deku, he gets a pseudo dragon. Which, yes, I actually have one of these in D&D. I be telling y'all, D&D is amazing. And so essentially, it can turn into anything. Well, any type of dragon. And so, Deku's, let's see, what's a good looking one? Nope, we going with silver. Sorry y'all that this is taking so long to find. It looks like this. Oh yeah, and by the way, for those of you that's wondering, my pseudo dragon is named Beru. Reason why. And then I have two of them, by the way. And the other one's name is Bellion. Reason why. Yeah. Well, that's besides the point. So, Deku, he got his silver. Where's my picture at? Oh yeah, it spawned at the back of my. Oh well. But yeah, so it looks like this, but it's white. Well, not white, but silver. And so Bahamut is just like, ah yes, a dragon for a dragon. And Issei, in this turn of events, he will get one, because Deku forced him to pick one. And this time, he gets, I forgot what all the familiars are. He gets a, oh yeah. Yep. He has an Ember Cat. Yeah. Let's go with that. He says, oh, hey, look, you got a cat. I think I know the reason why, Issei. And he's like, huh? What do you mean, Izu? And he's just like, because you're a pussy. And kind of because, just like, nah, he's just a pervert. And he says, right, what she said. And he's like, stopping himself, and he's just like, right, what she said. And he's just shaking his head internally, just like, But anywho, so Deku, he's just sitting there in class one day when they say, oh hey, we're getting a new girl. And they say, okay. And this girl looking like a whole a whole snack. Sorry, forgive me. A Bawilla. Beautiful women I will likely ask out. Walks into class, not just like this, but she does have her features sticking. And she says, okay, I have two questions. One, where's the occult research club? And Deku just raises his hand and he says, I'll show you after school. And she says, and two, where in the world? As she scans the class, is Izuku Hyoto. Deku raises his hand once again, and she says, oh crud. And so they wait for the end of the school day. Volley, yes, that's femme volley. Fight me, nigga. Yes, that's a part of the harem. But that's besides the point. Oh yeah, by the way, Deku just has all those gachas that I was mentioning. Yeah, Deku's one heck of a nerd, so he has just them all on his desk at home. And so Anywho, so after school, he takes her to the occult research club and he says, "So, why do you want to become a demon?" And she says, "Because I'm sick of Azazel." And he says, "Who was that again?" As he's talking to Bahamut, and Bahamut's just like, "Those are the fallen angels, buddy." He's like, "Okay." As Bahamut also says, "You gotta admit though, she making us feel horny." And Deku's just sitting there just like, true. So, even though this is Issei's dream, let's have a harem. And Deku's just like, sure. He's just like, I don't mind. And Konako, at this point, she's really starting to like love Izuku. And Vali, she low-key has feelings for him. Because even though Deku is supposed to be her rival, well, she has two rivals. She says that Issei is her rival, and that the Annihilation Dragon is her rival. So, Deku. He says, "It's not like you nor my brother could touch my power in 1,000,000 years, but okay." Oh yeah, by the way, this video is ending in 5 minutes. Reason why, I want to go play Hades. That, and also I'm sorry for not uploading for a while. But yeah. So, Deku, he goes ahead and he just lets them all know who she is. And that she has Albion, aka the White Dragon. And Konako, she sees this as a threat. Because she's already claimed Izuku, shall we say. Well, in her mind, she has. But to Deku, he's just like, man, I really love her. And in this one, I'm gonna say, like, nah. But anywho, Soleil says, I want to become a demon. And he says Rias is like, okay. She appoints her as her other bishop, and yes, Azia is another bishop. But yeah. And so now, Riser. So Riser, he, like, a couple weeks after that, he appears in the middle of, like, the club having, like, a game day where they just sat down and played board games because everybody didn't have any contracts or anything to do. And so they were playing, like, they were playing Uno. And they mixed like 4 different decks of Uno together just so they all could have enough cards. Everybody got 14 cards. And there's like 7 of them. So that's like, they have about like 100 cards out right now. And then like 100 in the pile. And I'm talking about the draw pile. And then like 50 of them in the freaking middle. And they augmented the rules so one person can place down 2 cards per turn, and he can stack up, and this is how the game's supposed to be played, but you can stack pluses. And so, yeah, I'm going to say that plus 25 is a thing. And he has 2 of those. And it's sort of like using a bonus action in D&D if you get this. But he places down 2 plus 25s. And instead of it going to Konako, which is the person that's right after him, he Uno reverses, makes it go to Issei, and he says, "Gotcha, little bro." And Issei's just sitting here just like, no. Bang! And he places down 1, and Deku's just like, And then Kiba's like, no. Places down another 1. And then it goes on until it's back to Deku, which at this point, it's a plus 200. And Deku's just sitting there just like, sucks to be you, he said. And as he places one down, and Issei says, I'd hate to be you, Kiba. Places it down, and Kiba's just like, nigga. Like, he's just sitting there, just contemplating life right now. And Deku's just like, he starts dying. He's just like, I didn't think everybody would have that many plus 25s. As he's just like chuckling. But yeah, so Riser, he pops in and he says, hello, baby mama. And he says that, and he's just like, wait, Reese, you're pregnant? And she says, no, and never will I. And she whispers something under her breath. Unless it's Issei. And Akano, she likes Deku. She's just like, what if he doesn't feel the same towards me and like stuff like that? And she always has her eyes on Deku. And Deku, he's really chill around everybody. But yeah, and so he says, well, we're getting engaged soon. And Deku says, not if I have something to say about it. Nigga, we doing a rating game. I'm finna crisscross you, your whole squad, everybody else. And that's on God. And as he says God's name, God gets a headache. Yeah, nigga, he too strong to get a headache. He pulled that Uno reverse card. Nah, nigga, you get one. And he says, and who are you? As he pulls out freaking Bahamut. As he pulls out Bahamut, Riser was instantly just like, fuck. He was just internally just like, why did I have to speak? Like, why do I do anything? Why do I exist? And Deku's just sitting there just like, maybe we should kill you. Nah, I'll just save it for the rating game. But yeah, and this is where I'm going to end this one off. We're almost done with Season 1. And instead of doing the actual events for Season 4, we'll be adding a bit of a change. Because Season 4 ain't on Hulu, my nigga. And best believe I'm not gonna sit there for 4 hours and go through ads. Got me tripping. Yeah, nigga, I don't mess with Crunchyroll like that. Only time I do is when it comes to One Piece. And even then, that's a hard maybe. But yeah,